Arriving to a cabbie's welcome, university friends Paul Archer, Jono Ellison and Lee Purnell are back in Blighty after a 15-month world record-breaking journey. Clocking up a massive 43,000 miles across 4 continents and 50 different countries, the trip was originally intended as a London to Sydney excursion.
Well, initially we set off to do London to Sydney, but by the time we got to Southeast Asia we'd ran out of cash basically because everything got expensive in the world. And yeah, we got contacted by a company called Get Taxi, and they offered to sponsor not only to get to Australia but also to drive and circumnavigate the world and ride back into London. So we accepted, and here we are 15 months later.
With only a 20-year-old K-Reg black cab, affectionately known as Hannah, to call home since February 2011, the trio have had their fair share of adventures. Skillfully avoiding herds of Armenian sheep, numerous border controls, as well as the Iranian secret police, the boys still got by with a little help from friends in high places.
Because we have to take the car across some oceans, we use some shipping companies, and they managed to lose one of the key documents. And we tried to get into Greece, and they accept it using some copied fake documents. But then we tried to get into Moldova, and they just wouldn't let us in. And we waited on the border for about 12 hours until all of a sudden we just got let in. And we got this phone call that told us that the president had given us personal permission to enter the country with the wrong documents. And we had no idea what was going on. We just drove in. It was fantastic.
The 450-day journey across Australia, 20 states of the USA, as well as the 6,000-mile drive through Israel and Eastern Europe to Russia, would have amassed an eye-watering £80,000 taxi fare had the meter been running. And it has broken several records on the way.
In the last 15 months on their epic journey, the guys have set 2 new Guinness World Records. The first is for the longest journey by a taxi. So they have travelled in excess of 43,000 miles. At the present time, we've verified the data up until Calais, and after they've arrived back here, we're going to look at the final data and give the final Guinness World Record figure. They also set a new world record for the highest journey by a car. They reached an altitude of 5,225 metres in their taxi, so that's another Guinness World Record.
That's Mount Everest in front of you. Or maybe it's one of those.
Well, obviously when you've got 3 guys doing 43,000 miles around the world, going to some pretty hairy places, we needed to keep in constant contact with them, make sure that they were okay, make sure that everything that was planned was actually going ahead, making sure that the taxi was in a good state of repair to continue the journey and fulfil its mission.
Not content with breaking records, the boys have managed to successfully raise over £20,000 for the British Red Cross.